Acctgforstitchers.
Hi, I'm Keisha.
I'm Laura, and welcome to the Pattern Queens episode 80. Woohoo! Today is Sunday, January 16th, 2022, and this is a channel about cross stitch.
And friendship and rambles and lots of shenanigans and, just a fun catch up after technical issues before the filming.
Yeah, we just got to get it together.
Right.
So we want to say welcome to everyone. We know we've had a few new subscribers, and welcome, come right on in. It's exciting to have new people joining our channel, and it's also really exciting to have the people who've been here for a while commenting. I've seen that there have been a lot of comments, and I have not gotten to them this week. The week just got away from me. So
we're excited that you are the same brand of a little bit nutty as we are, and that you decide to come back.
I noticed we are both in the kind of dark.
Yes.
Dark clothing.
Well, so that we will we'll stand out if we have to go out in the snow. It snowed a bunch here.
It snowed a lot.
Yes.
So I mean, not a big bunch, but it snowed a lot compared to the first one.
Yeah. More than it has this year so far.
So anyway, do you have any life updates for us?
Well, the biggest life update is really an update for tomorrow. So I'm off of work for Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and I found out that daycare's not closed. And so I'm like, James would probably rather spend time with his friends at daycare. I mean, daycare seems really, really fun. So I might just have a day by myself tomorrow. And
that would be amazing, right?
Yes. I haven't really, even the days that I've had one day off where James has had to go to daycare, but I spent the day with my husband, which of course is wonderful. But he's not off tomorrow either. So it might just be me.
Oh my goodness. So I'm off tomorrow also. And yeah, I'm really excited that I am. And I think probably I'm sewing and just kind of catching up on things. I've spent the last couple of days stitching a lot and staying up way too late. I think Keisha and I were both up really late Friday night, and you may have beaten me last night because I was like falling asleep. I didn't even see your response.
Right.
So, and that was just 12:30. 12:30 is early for me to go to bed.
Yes, it is.
So you want to jump right in?
Yeah, let's do it.
So first up,
I have a finish, guys.
Woohoo!
So, and Laura will talk about this more in her whips, but Laura wanted to have like a Martin Luther King Jr. Day start, but we started it on Saturday. And
because that's his birthday.
Right. And so I am the easiest person in the whole entire world to talk into doing any sort of stitch along, because Laura said, well, are you planning on doing something on Saturday? And I was like, I really don't need another new start because I just started something that Monday. And then I looked in my stash and I found a pattern and I was like, well, this seems perfect. So I started something. I started Injustice by Works by ABC by Arlene Cohen. And this is just a freebie that she has. And it says, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere, which is an MLK quote. And I just sat right on down and stitched it yesterday.
Yeah. So the last that I saw, you had the lettering done.
Mm-hmm.
And then you came back and you said something like, I couldn't leave it.
I couldn't, because I got the letters done like probably about 10:30, and this border piece is like over 300 stitches. So I was like, I'm not going to finish that tonight, but I did. So
once you get in that rhythm and that pattern, don't you think it just kind of flows and you just get done?
Yeah, I mean, because it's not a very complicated border piece. So anyway, I picked some colors from like some DMC that I had from my stash for this, because it was only charted to be in 2 colors. The chart doesn't even tell you which 2 colors. And this is on 36 count beige linen from Weeks Dye Works. So what I usually do whenever I have something like this that I want to stitch is I'll go to Stitch Palette's Instagram. They don't really post regularly anymore, but they put these really beautiful pictures up and then tell you like what the DMC is of some of the colors in the picture. And then you can see there at the top, there's Stitch_Palettes on Instagram. And you can just like scroll through their feed for some really good inspiration.
It's
so I
really
ended up
awesome to use that
yes.
too, especially, okay, so you really like those colors.
Yes.
But especially if you are trying to work with a color palette that maybe you're not as familiar with, it's really invaluable.
And they have a lot of different pictures, but I'm really drawn to these. And actually the blue in there is 3809, which is the color that I'm using for Death by Cross Stitch. And then this is 3021, this darker brown. And then I didn't have a suggested one of the lighter browns, so the border piece is 801. So I chose it from the Stitch palette, and then I'm working on this, and I come to the realization that this color palette looks really, really familiar to me. This is Aberlony 1825 by Erica Michaels, and I'd just like you to look at the light brown, the dark brown, and the aqua colors. So I like what I like, is what I found out about myself. It was just funny because honestly, I just picked something from Stitch Palettes that appealed to me. And then I realized that I had another project that I could have used the overdyes in there and wouldn't have even had to pull any DMC. But anyway, that is finished number 1 for the year.
Awesome. So the next thing that we would have up would be stash. Do you have stash?
I don't have any stash.
I don't have any stash. I was supposed to have stash yesterday, but they did not get it delivered. So we are stashless.
Stashless, but that's okay. We have plenty to make up for it.
Yes, we have plenty in our stash already.
Yes,
so.
Yes.
Okay, so then that takes us to whips.
All right, the exciting world of whips. So I'll show you this one first. So I worked after we got done filming.
Yes.
I worked a little bit on Half the Fun, and this is by Ink Circles. And I worked a little bit on this bicycle. I didn't quite get the bicycle done, but I'll show you where I got to. So he's got a back tire. And this is on 36 count Carnival from Picture This Plus. And this is Royal Purple Sulky, just one strand of
it. Looks gorgeous on there.
Thank you. I'm really, really enjoying working on this. But I did put it down because I had something else to work on.
I am realizing that we started in exact opposite corners.
Oh,
I start lower right.
Right. but
with the same motif.
Yeah. So this is the bottom right.
So I have an airplane on mine.
Right. Well, and I have an airplane on mine too.
But I mean, that's all I have.
Oh, that's airplane. How you have. Yeah. All right. The next thing I worked on was Death by Cross Stitch.
Ooh.
And I got to do something other than just stitching lines. So here's where I am.
Look at you.
And so, okay, so this is 36 count Agave linen from Zweigart. I think I accidentally said Weeks last time, but it's from Zweigart. So in keeping with talking about Abra, this is the needle minder that I keep on here. And so I've been trying to figure out what like accent colors I'm going to use with this. This needle minder has basically the same color. So maybe I should just use white and then find a DMC that's the color of her bow. Draw inspiration from wherever you can find it.
There you go.
And then the last thing I worked on was also a new start. So, excuse me, dropped a bag on the floor. So this year, there are a couple different alphabet cells that have come out, and I showed them to my husband, and we picked out one for James that I'm going to work on. And I'm going to work on ABCDinosaur from Cloud's Factory. And here is the first part that came out on Monday. And here's where I am on it.
It looks so good.
Thanks. So I have the dinosaurs for end, which are Netoceratops. So
okay, what kills me is that you showed me this and you told me how many stitches it was.
yes, so
I don't remember.
In this whole part per pattern keeper, because it's pattern keeper compatible, without the back stitch, it's 1,858 stitches in those two.
And when does the next part come out?
It comes out on the 1st.
Okay, so you have a little while before it comes out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, I got that done. This is on 36 count silver fox from Fiber on a Whim. And it's just the called for colors. But I have run into a little bit of an issue. I tried to do the back stitching for the name of the dinosaur above it, and it's charted to be done in B5200, and it just doesn't really show up. So I have to figure out what I'm going to do. I'm either going to do black, or I might just put in all of the names at the end and see where I can put the different colors, maybe do a different color for each one so that they'll show up. I've just got to kind of play around with it a little bit, because my fabric, as you can see, is a lot lighter than what they called for. And everything is showing up really well. It's just that back stitching isn't showing up great. So I've just got to figure it out, but it'll be fine. But those are all of my whips for this week.
Did you decide not to have a 25/7 for the moment?
I did. Well, because I didn't work on Fun Every Day this week, but the idea was that would sort of replace my 25/7, because for a while I had been working on that every day. I took a little bit of a break from it. I'm still trying to figure out exactly how my rotation is going to go, because I have a couple of really big projects that I'm trying to work on. But yeah, I didn't start a 25/7, and I might bring it back because I really did enjoy that. So we'll kind of see. I'm still feeling it out this year. So,
well, and we got really excited about 2022. That's what I think, is that we got really excited about it. And we have a lot of plans going on.
And what I'm learning are my plans might be a little bit too lofty, or I just start and finish a random project on a Saturday.
There you go. When I ask you on Friday if you have anything, right?
And there were 890 stitches in that project, for anybody who is wondering.
Yeah, so it was no quick thing. It was definitely, you put a lot of it in there. So yeah.
All right. Well, what about your whips? I'm excited. How many
stitches do you normally stitch in a week?
In a week, I don't know. I'm getting kind of close to.
Oh, I should say in a day, right?
Oh, well, I mean, I could extrapolate it out. I think last year my goal was 200 a day, but I kind of beat that a little bit. So right now I'm shooting for about 250 stitches a day, but so far this month I'm averaging 295 stitches.
I bet, because you just did over 800. Right.
But there are some days where 50 stitches was good, and then there are other days where so it's all kind of averaging.
Okay, so first up is my 25/7, which is Christmas Garden by Blackbird Designs.
So pretty.
And I am up. This is all I have left.
Wow.
And I am up in here, and I'm like avoiding starting this, which I can't avoid it. I mean, I'm there, and I'm getting so close to the end. So this is what it looks like right now.
Oh, wow.
It is on, I can never remember whether it's 30 or 32. Yeah, it's 32 count parchment, I believe by R R.
That is so beautiful.
Thank you. And seriously, I mean, like, I even put in a little more border because I am studiously avoiding the big thing.
Yeah.
It's not as big as the one below. That's what I should think about.
Right. Well, and then you have to be like, is that how I want to finish the project, or should
Yeah.
I just get
Should I
it
suck
done?
it up and just do it?
Right, just do it.
I had my whole stack, and when Keisha started talking, I thought, I didn't pull out my 25/7 or my piece I started yesterday. Okay, so in my daily whips, this is my plan where I am working on one of my whips. I know a lot of you guessed. I do not remember who is the closest, but when I had them all in there before I got rid of a couple, I had 180 whips. And I have, I immediately got rid of one. I got rid of Quilting Bee because it was not working out. I will restart it. And we'll talk more about that today too. So from the 1998 ornament issue of the Just Cross Stitch magazine, I have a few things in here that I'm doing, but one of them is this. And he's called Frosty, and he's by You and I and Friends.
He's fun.
And what's funny is that I think I started him because I just had this piece of fabric and I had some floss next to me that worked.
Oh.
I mean, originally, I think that's why I did it.
That's as good a reason as anything.
Yeah. And I think he's on 32 count, but I started him with one strand of floss. So that's what I'm going with. And I put in all of the black, and I started at the bottom. I had done this little bit of white in here, but I started at the bottom and filled in all of this.
Oh, wow. That's quite a bit.
Yeah. So I don't know why, but I got a crazy idea that I should try and put in 500 stitches at least on these. So not a day, not my 25/7 included. No, on these. And this one I have in this. I love this sleeve.
Yes.
And the inside is like, I don't know if I can bend it. There we go. It's this check. So cute. It's just a fun one.
Yeah, that's a Better Homes and Garden cookbook check.
Oh, yes, it is. We called this sleeve Miracle on 34th Street. So then my next one, which is in another one of my favorite sleeves, just love that one, is from the 2020 February Just Cross Stitch magazine, this one. Some of you recognize that cover and probably know what I'm looking at. So I am doing, come on, Ben, Cabin in the Woods by Tiny Modernist.
Such a good one.
And I really had not much of anything because we started these with just like an hour, and then I was supposed to work on it during 12 days of stitching, not in 2021, but in 2020. And I don't know, I didn't get much done, but this time,
wow, a lot.
And really that's just, I don't know how far because I didn't write it down, but that's just a little over 500 stitches. So I'm doing etoile instead of white, and you can see the piece hanging there because I haven't, I didn't go on with it. I thought, I want to get some of the other stuff in.
Yeah.
But this one made me stay up late because I got caught in the, I already have that color on my needle and I should just do everything in that color.
Yeah, I know that trap.
It is kind of a bad trap, right? And I stayed up way too late doing that one, but it was fun.
Yeah, well, that's what matters.
I am loving getting to work on my pretty projects again. So next up in a bag from the 805 Stitcher, I love this one, is, that may not be it. That's not right. It's from Sirena Stitching. Oh, because it has, I don't know. See, I'm showing you the pattern. It has Blackbird design fabric in it.
Oh, yeah.
But what I'm stitching is Barbara's Dreaming Girl.
Oh, so pretty.
I had been working on her hair And I did finish out the piece of brown that was on my needle, but then I decided I was tired of that. And so I went back and started filling in some of the
Oh,
other stuff.
that's such a beautiful piece.
Thank you. This was supposed to be your fabric.
I know it. The fabric that your house ate and then
Yes,
gave
and
you at
then
just the right time.
yes, and then just like spit it up into my fabric drawer. It just the weirdest. I mean, seriously, I
Yeah.
don't know how it ended up there. I've got to think that Katie had it and lost it somewhere, and somebody else picked it up and just shoved it in one of my
Must be.
drawers.
Yeah.
So then my last one is in, I can't have a week without a Judy bag, right?
No.
It's in this great bag from Judy, orange with the bees and the sunflowers. And this, I love this pretty pattern inside.
Yes.
So my last one is Thriller by Sampler Cove. Now, I have been stitching this on 40 count linen. I'm just going to say 40 count linen because I'm not going to dog anybody here. But my linen is pretty old and I've had it folded. Okay. So my first problem is, and I don't know how well you'll be able to see this. My first problem is that it has fold lines that are lighter than the rest of the fabric. And it was going to go through my whole sampler.
Yeah.
My second problem is my eyes are just not liking it. And even getting it on a hoop, I could not get it to open up well enough for me to see. I struggled all night. It probably took me, I bet it took me 7 or 8 hours to get 500 stitches.
Oh, wow.
And I mean, I don't know what you guys know about me, but I stitch probably something like this where I'm doing one color. I should have stitched between 300 and 400 stitches in 1 hour. So I have decided, Katie and I talked, and it's going to be a pin pillow. I'm going to finish this band, so it'll be exactly the same. I need to repeat this over here.
Right.
And then it's going to be a cool pin pillow. You can see that line there, can't you? Like right down the middle here.
Yeah.
So it would have been the whole way. And in a little piece like this, I don't mind that. But in a sampler, I don't want that. So I love this sampler. I have a great color palette going on. And Katie pointed out to me that it is almost the same as a pack of silks that we got in one of the Retreat in a Box, one of the Black Needle Society boxes.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to pull that out. I am going to get some different fabric, and there's nothing wrong with this fabric dyer. I think this is probably one of the first pieces of fabric that they ever dyed. So I'm thinking it's not the same quality and consistency of what they put out now.
Right.
So, but I will get a different piece of fabric and it will probably be about 32 count.
Yeah. Perfect.
I just hit the, I'm like done. Unless it's really small, I'm probably done with 40 count fabric.
Well, and I'm glad that you came up with a good solution so that you don't, have to throw out the stitches that you've already done.
And I was looking at it, and I think that's what's been making me stay with it and keep trying to go, is that I'm like, I've put so many hours already. And Katie said, well, Mom, you could do what you told me to do and just make it a little pin cushion or pin pillow. So yeah, that's what I'll do.
That's good.
And then yesterday, I got to start United We Stand by Teresa Kogut. It's still for sale. You can see there's, well, I shouldn't say it's still for sale. I don't know if it is or not. It was one that she was doing different quotes in 2020, and I bought it, and I loved it. I know that my friends Lynn Acctgforstitches and the 614 Stitcher Candy have both started this, so I'm really excited to join them. And I'm using this fabric from Fabric Flair.
So pretty.
all of you said stars.
Yes.
I did a lot of outlining.
Mm-hmm.
And I am doing this on Pattern Keeper. I am up over 600 stitches. So
Wow.
comparatively, look at that.
Yeah.
That doesn't look like 600 stitches
No.
because it's just an outline.
Right. But you'd surprise yourself by how many stitches are in something like that.
Yes. And I was so excited. I got it into Pattern Keeper by myself. It's not compatible. So I had to do the match it up and make the grid myself. And I
Mm-hmm.
did it.
Nice.
So that's it. So what are your plans for this week?
Well, I don't know what I'm going to stitch on tomorrow, but I'm very excited about just having a day. I will I need to get back to fun every day, and I need to get back to Mario. I think today I'm going to finish up the 1,000 stitches that I'm trying to do every month on Death by Cross Stitch. I have about 300 that I need to do, but that one's been going fast, so hopefully I can do that. And then I'm going to try to finish up that part of ABCDinosaurs so that I'm ready. The next part comes out on the 1st. So
That'll be
those are
good.
my plans.
I was telling Keisha that our friend Beth, who is, I can never remember which way it is, on Instagram and on Flosstube, one of them is Busy with 2 Z's, Busy B, the letter B, Stitches, and the other one is Busy B, Silly Me. She decided she didn't want to start 22 projects with Katie and I. She thought that was too much. So her plan was to stitch 2,022 stitches in one project in the first week. And of course, I was hot and heavy in my January whips, so that was not going to work for me. But then I thought, well, I'll just try and do it on something after I'm done with all of my monthly whips. And I am through them now. As of Friday night, I was through with them. So I am going to try and get 2,022 stitches into my United We Stand. That'll be a good start. And then we'll see. So I'll have to do that before Friday, no, before Friday night ends, I guess. And then I'll see what I will put in for the next week. I want to try and do it every week. Our friend Connie from Count Twice, Stitch Once is doing it every week.
Wow.
So
That's pretty amazing.
we'll see how long she goes with that. And Connie does a lot of smalls. So I think she's kind of using it as a way to move along some of her bigger pieces.
Yeah. Because I was going to say, like an ornament size mill hill, that would finish an ornament size mill hill.
Are there, you think there are 2,000 stitches in it?
There's a little bit less. I think
a little
the
one.
Santa Cruz one I did was like 1,900 or something like that.
Okay. So that's a good size for us. We know about how big it has to be.
Yeah. So those kind of hover around 2,000 stitches, I think, the ornament sized ones.
Okay. Okay. See, I'm so glad that you had some perspective.
There you
go. So my plans this week will be to work on United We Stand. I have my 2 Whip Go projects, which I need to get at least 500 stitches in each one. And one of them is the one that Keisha picked, which is Blackberry House by Plum Street Samplers. I love that one.
Me too.
And the other one is that I'm doing is Halloween Fairy by Nora Corbett from the magazine. And that one is a little more of a struggle piece. So we'll see if I can get my 500 in this week and knock that one out. Although I think 2,000 stitches on it would put it pretty close to a finish, because I already have the girl in most of her dress done. Yeah. There's a ton of beading. That may be a little road bump, speed bump in the road for me. But
for sure.
Yeah. And I want to get my Life After Death scanned in so that I can put it in Pattern Keeper.
Yeah.
And then
it's really been,
then I will take off. Is yours in Pattern Keeper?
Yes, but I downloaded it as a PDF before, and it was kind of the same thing where I had to like tell it where the overlaps were and things like that. So you had to do a little bit of working with it, but not bad.
I can't wait. But that's it. So Do you think we've had enough shenanigans?
And we've rambled quite a bit. So yeah, I think so.
Then the only thing that's left is bye.
Bye. Have a good week.